often there's a theme of frustration and limitation. So our willpower, or our desire to put something into action and to make something happen meets up with a limitation or a restraint or a temporary block, or we're told no. And then there's going to be this challenge to face and get through whatever those limitations are, whatever those things that we're being told no to. So one of the most known themes of Mars squaring Saturn is resilience and perseverance. So it challenges us to exercise those muscles of resilience and perseverance. So right now, this message is for us to persevere, especially when you're feeling exhausted due to some kind of challenging situation or limitation. This can also be a very good time for storing up resources. Whatever way you know of to save or store up resources, or for concentrated power building that can be used for future action, this is that time for storing up wisdom, as Saturn's axis now is giving access to old and much more mature wisdom. That's Saturn's realm. Wisdom that's been built through hard work and concentration. So we can also focus on making plans or forming strategies that come from time-tested wisdom. So there'll be themes of efforts and will that meet resistance, frustration, and exhaustion with limitations. But remember, the wisdom coming through this tension and period of inner self development and growth is to store up your resources while managing feelings of not being able to move ahead, and accepting that we may have to live with these restraints for a while. You know, this week is the full moon, October 1st, and that full moon is right next to Chiron. So there's a very powerful healing component that's present for everybody. And what I've noticed is that there are some primal, deep-seated, painful experiences that may be coming up for us to recognize, realize, so that we can find that key to healing. And whatever it is that we're dealing with that's coming up, wherever that Chiron is with that full moon in Aries in your chart. So that's something really important that can really help you on your search for that inner self development. So that's something really great that's happening this week also. So how do we find peace while experiencing restraints? That's a really great question. And I would add to that that this is a time to be really resourceful within our individual circumstances, because this is a time that feels like and is a test of will to work our way back from some kind of painful loss or painful feeling of being defeated. So with Mars retrograde, this is a time to relax so that we can perform better in the future. This isn't a time for competition, fighting, arguing. This is a time for persisting through and not giving up. It's a time for staying calm. So remember, with this Mars square Saturn, Saturn is in the superior position over Mars because Mars is retrograde. And so we're looking at what we can and cannot do and control right now, and also how to react when we can't do anything about current circumstances or restrictions that we're experiencing. So if there's people around you that are trying to force you into doing something, or if there's a temptation to get something done, or to go against the rules or change the rules, or someone says this has to be all my way, it'll be a lot more rewarding to stay focused on the solution, as this will be more rewarding than getting angry because you want the problem to be over quickly. So actually there is a gift available to us right now in waiting and exploring and sitting with our problems, which aren't going away. So fix what you can, and note that certain challenges are going to take a while to be resolved. Right after Mars gets through the square to Saturn, it's going to move into a square with Pluto, who is the ruler of the underworld and hidden places of power. I remember a long time ago, I had a guest, an esoteric astrologer on my show up north, and she said that Pluto represents hidden treasure. So what's below the surface, there's a great treasure there. So we're in the process of discovering that right now. And so when Mars squares Pluto, it's going to present us with the growing pains or the challenge to look into the hidden places where there is power, where there is treasure. And you know, there is this intensity with Mars retrograde, and it will certainly bring up a regenerative type of influence. And so this is going to be a big reset, and the feeling of being temporarily held back from forward movement is certainly going to be something we're all experiencing. So this is part of what we're learning right now. That is, if we are open to receive it. So this is going to play out all the way through the end of this year, and it's a long planetary influence. So we have to find ways to endure the inner growing pains during this time. And wherever Mars is retrograding your birth chart is a really important thing to understand, because if you have that level of understanding, it helps you to realize what's going to make the most difference and where it's best to concentrate that energy, or even just having a conversation about it is going to be incredibly helpful, because we all need support through these trying times, through these times of inner growth. And I know for myself, where my transit is really, I'm having a great concentration on communicating and, you know, learning new things that can really help in personal development, and that I can and then convey to you and pass on to other people. So that's really important to me, being that I am the sign I am, which is ruled by Mercury. So something that I realized also is that people who are able to endure slow growth patterns are also able to enjoy things for longer periods of time as well. So endurance is a quality we develop and then and learn that gets us through tough times. And it's also there for us in the good times, so that we can, you know, endure and appreciate those times so much more. So this is a time for inner wisdom building. Mars square Saturn and Mars is retrograde. And so by the end of this transit, we find ourselves in a much better place. So do whatever you can to strengthen your spiritual muscles, to endure, to be patient, and to breathe life into your current circumstances. That is the action you will later realize is the very best of all to act on at this very time. So until next time, may the good in the world find its way toward us all, and may that wisdom and those growing pains bring you the very best in your life, now and in the future. And remember, as always, turn to the stars and you'll find your answers there. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take good care.